Have you ever noticed it's not the cleaning that's hard? It's the weight of feeling like it's never done. I used to spend hours picking up, wiping down, resetting, only to feel like the mess came back before I'd even finished. It wasn't about effort, it was about how I was approaching it. And strangely enough, what helped was learning how monks clean. In this video, I'll share 4 simple rules that made cleaning feel lighter, even a little effortless. I don't live in a monastery. I have 4 kids, a full life, and plenty of laundry. But the mindset shift I borrowed from the monk approach completely changed how I move through my home. And if your house or your head has felt heavy lately, maybe this first idea will give you a little room to breathe. The first tip I'd like to share is the 5-touch rule. Here's something I wish I had noticed sooner. If I have to touch the same item 5 times a week to move it, wipe around it, or work around it, it probably doesn't belong there. I started paying attention when I realized how often I was moving the same things just to clean. A plant on the kitchen counter that I always picked up and put back. A jar of pens I never used. A small basket on the bathroom sink that collected random stuff but never actually helped. None of those things were messy, but they got in the way every single time I tried to wipe a surface. So I started asking myself, do I actually use this, or am I just cleaning around it out of habit? If something made me stop and move it more than once or twice a week, I took it off the surface, sometimes into a drawer, sometimes just out of the house entirely. And almost every time cleaning that area felt easier afterward. Not just faster, but lighter. You don't have to declutter your whole home to feel this. Just try it one surface at a time. Maybe your kitchen counter, your nightstand, the bathroom sink. Wipe it like normal, but this time pay attention to what you had to move first. Was it useful or just sitting there creating more steps? The 5-touch rule is just a way to notice what's silently making your home harder to manage. A reminder that sometimes the things you think are neutral, like a cute tray or an old candle, are actually slowing you down. And if you're not sure what kinds of things are quietly making your space feel heavier, the next video walks through 25 super common items that tend to get in the way even in homes that look decluttered. They're not always obvious, but once you notice them, you won't unsee it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss it. But first, let's get back to today's video. Now, let's move on to the next tip. One thing that changed how my home feels and how much energy I have left at the end of the day is something I call the 3-minute reset. It's simple. When I finish using something, I put it back right away. Not perfectly, just enough to reset the space before I move on. After lunch, I rinse my plate and wipe the counter. It takes maybe a minute, but it means I don't come back later to a dried mess and a pile of dishes. When I change clothes, I either hang them back up or toss them in the hamper right then. Before bed, I take 3 minutes to straighten the living room, fold a blanket, pick up a cup, put the random sock in the laundry. That's it. It doesn't sound like much, but doing it right after means I never let things pile up into something big. And that's the part that used to drain me, the overwhelm. I'd walk into a room and feel behind before I even started. Now those little resets help me stay ahead of the mess without needing a full cleaning session. You don't need a new routine to try this. Just notice the next time you're about to say, I'll get to it later. Ask yourself, could I do it now in 3 minutes or less? If the answer is yes, just get it done and move on. Over time, it becomes automatic. You stop thinking of cleaning as a big project and start seeing it as little resets that keep things from building up in the first place. The next tip I'd like to share is something I wish I had tried sooner: do 1 cleaning task a day in complete silence. Here's something that helped me more than I expected. It doesn't sound like a big deal, I know. And at first I didn't think much of it either. I was just too tired one evening to grab my earbuds. So I did the dishes in silence. No distractions. Just rinsing plates, stacking them in the rack, wiping the sink. Nothing fancy. But when I was done, I noticed I felt different. Not because the kitchen looked better, though that helped, but because my head felt quieter too. Like I hadn't just checked off a task, but actually rested a little while doing it. After that, I started doing it on purpose. Once a day, I pick one thing: folding laundry, unloading the dishwasher, cleaning the bathroom counter, and I do it without any sound. At first, it felt kind of weird. I was so used to having something on all the time. I thought I'd be bored or feel like I was wasting time. But it wasn't boring. It was simple. And honestly, simple is something I need more of these days. When I clean in silence, I'm not trying to multitask or absorb more information. I'm not rushing. I'm just doing the thing. And that small pocket of quiet, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, makes a real difference. It doesn't turn cleaning into some magical experience, but it takes the edge off. It gives me one little pause in the middle of everything else. If you want to try this, just pick something small today. It doesn't have to be a big project. Wipe down the table after breakfast. Fold some towels. Do the dishes after lunch. Whatever you are going to do anyway, just do it without turning anything on. Don't worry about doing it right. Just notice what it feels like when your hands are busy, but your mind isn't being pulled in 5 directions. You might find, like I did, that it's the only part of your day where no one's talking to you. No screen is flashing at you, and you're not trying to keep up with anything. You're just doing one thing. And that's enough. And the final tip is silent leadership. There's nothing more frustrating than cleaning up after everyone every day and feeling like no one else even sees the mess. The crumbs, the socks, the backpack in the hallway, you see it all, and it's like you're the only one who does. I used to ask, then remind, then ask again, but louder, and it only made me more tired. It felt like I was spending more energy trying to get people to help than if I just did it myself. So I stopped asking. Not out of defeat, just to protect my peace a bit. I picked one small routine, resetting the kitchen after dinner, and I started doing it on my own, quietly. No talking, no sighing, no big effort. I just put things back, wiped the counters, and called it done. The first few days, no one helped. I kept doing it anyway, and slowly something shifted. One night, my daughter brought her plate over without being asked. Another night, my son picked up a few things from the table. Not every time, not always happily, but it started happening. Same thing happened with bedrooms. I stopped reminding them to make their beds. I just started making mine again. Nothing fancy, just pulling the blanket up, putting the pillows back. One day I walked past my son's room and his bed was made. No one told him to, it just happened. I don't think it was magic. I think people feel the difference when you stop chasing. When you just show up and do what you do calmly, consistently, it sets a tone that's easier to follow than all the instructions in the world. If you want to try this, choose one space, one small habit. Maybe it's clearing the table after dinner. Maybe it's picking up the living room for 5 minutes before bed. Do it at the same time each day. Don't explain it. Don't wait for anyone to join. Just start. Some days they will. Some days they won't. But either way, you're not yelling. You're not repeating yourself. And you're not carrying the whole weight of the house on your back. It doesn't fix everything, but it helps. It makes the house feel a little less heavy, and you too. You don't have to change your whole house or start some new routine. Just one small shift, one reset, one quiet task, one less thing in the way is enough to begin. And if even one part of this helped you feel a little less pressure, a little more in control, then that's already something worth holding on to. If you're wondering what kinds of things actually make clutter feel worse, even when your home looks clean, the next video walks through 25 common items most of us keep out of habit, but could quietly be making your space harder to manage. You might be surprised by a few of them. And if this one felt helpful, you can tap like just so I know it made something a little lighter for you today.